Guys, deluded, I'm back again. Now, those of you who know me know I love to make vids, and I'm having some root canal treatment. I've got to go back on June the 7th or the 8th, one of them. I got the appointment card somewhere. Those of you who know what root canal is basically is killing the root of a tooth, and my tooth is hurting people, and I'm on a crap load of painkillers right now, man. But don't try this. I'm on ibuprofen. I'm on some slow release ones. I'm on everything. I'm gonna probably take some more ibuprofen, which is it goes against what it says on the box, man. I don't even think these things work, but the placebo effect is good. But one way I can air this is to talk about football. Now, I must admit, like I came to this conclusion myself, sort of thing. Now, we need to cast our years many years back. Pep Guardiola, he's at Manchester City now, of course, and these things. But at a time, there was speak of him going to be potentially managing Arsenal, potentially managing United and things like that. And I do believe United should have went for him. I do believe he wanted United. I do believe he actually wanted to manage Arsenal at a point. But I got to thinking, when you look past the perception of, yeah, Arsenal, great brand of football, youth, and all of these principles that resonate with Barcelona to a degree and Pep Guardiola, when you look past the romance and stuff and decipher that perception and then look at the reality, could it have been nothing more than a pipe dream? Now, United, it could have happened, and you'll get the point as to why I've just said United a few times there. But for me, I don't agree with people calling Pep Guardiola a checkbook manager, because, I mean, he tore up the Barcelona squad and reworked it. At City now, yeah, he spent a lot of money, but what world-class players has he bought? For that sort of money they've spent, you'd expect to be seeing Lewandowski, Griezmann, etc. It's players that are young, that are nowhere near their peak. Jesus, Sterling, well, no, he didn't buy Sterling, but Sane, Bernardo Silva. You can write your own Edison. There's many other Laporte, Stones. There's many of them in it. Whether they've overpaid and things like that. He's not a checkbook manager. But then if you look at Arsenal for this year, in instance, £50 million base layer. Now, we're cash rich, but whether that's actually available for transfers is another story. What happened to the 200 million war chest last year? 150 million never got splashed that quick, but it might have with Aubameyang and Lacazette. But you get the point, innit? Now, Arsenal, we've had to work under tight budgets. Ironically, we're saying 50 million now. We've just come out of our financial period. You're hearing Glazides numerous times throughout the years, and especially now, continuously, reiterating self-financing, self-sustaining, all sorts of self-stuff. Now, I've mentioned the Sterling business. I've mentioned Barcelona. If we look back, he spent a lot of money on Zlatan. It didn't work. 34 on Cesc. They grabbed PK for 8 million. That's decent. Alexis was around 20, maybe up to 30. What else? There was a couple signings. The Mascherano was 25. And there was a couple other signings here. Now, they're not the most eye-catching figures because we moved on a bit. But you've got to remember, them times there, Arsenal never had money for that. Don't you remember when guys like Nasri and Arshavin, to a degree, were big money signings for us? So what I mean by that is, clearly pouring money at something helps fix the problem. I'm not saying he fixes that, he just pours money at stuff, but clearly it makes things easier when you're able to identify areas for improvement and able to go and do that. Arsenal have had to work with tight budgets. If we go back to this period, 08 to 012, what money did we have? Arshavin was a big money signing for us. That's how mad it was. Podolski to a degree, Santi as well. They were big money signings to a degree. Maybe not Podolski for the fee, but you get me. Could it have worked? Like, would Pep have put up with not being, I don't want to say not being able to spend, because I do think he would have had time, but dealing with these iffy people behind the scenes at Arsenal, saying one thing and doing another, not being able to go and get targets and things, because for all Wenger's shortcomings, I do believe a lot of truths are going to come out. He's skilled with identifying. Even if you look at Bayern Munich, again, not the same. It's not really mad fees, but Douglas Costa 27. Gotze, Bernat came in for decent figures. Alonso was a modest fee, as was Juan Bernat, I believe. Vidal 37, 25 on Bernat, 25 on Thiago. We couldn't do that. We could not do that. Like, we probably say 2013 is when we were able to do that, because we spent 40 odd on Ozil. Fair play. If he came around that period, I guess, yeah, it could have all worked. But when you look past the romance, I must admit, people, when I look past the footballing romance, and as much as I would have loved Pep Guardiola, shout to Emery, but I would have loved Pep Guardiola to manage this club, something doesn't sit right with me. On that basis, I do think we'd have had more of a chance of signing Klopp, because Klopp's a good manager. Of course, you're seeing what he's doing. I don't want to say he's working under a tight budget at Liverpool, because he is, but at the same time, 75 on Naby Keita, speak of getting Fekir, them man there are getting the peas up in these exciting times. But I do think I do think Klopp would have more than likely worked under these conditions than Pep Guardiola, to be honest. We don't know if there was ever talks and things like that, and And yeah, man, when you look past the footballing outlooks and the prestige and all of these things and remove the perception of that from reality, could have Pep Guardiola at Arsenal, could it have even been a thing? Like, could it have? I don't even think it could have been a thing looking back now. Like before, it was over before it got started to a degree. Of course, I'm just looking at it on the basis of the players he's got in to improve the squads, and I couldn't see that happening at Arsenal. Yeah, you could say the scouting and things like that. He went out and got PK for 8 million. If he went down that route, then cool, it could have banged, but. I don't know, man. Obviously, a lot of these figures were years ago, but you need to remember inflation and the time period we're in, that this was decent money. Football in the last, well, it's been out the way for waters for a madness in terms of figures spent. But the last couple of years, you guys are seeing the most ridiculous fees on some box standard players. So, yeah, guys, deluded. Get in the comments, subscribe, and do the rest. I'm out.